This is a bonus episode, everybody. The new season has not begun yet. We're working very hard on season 2. We have a lot of great guests coming up. But we got to talk about all the extra stuff that the Geeky Dad podcast has been doing. We have a YouTube channel. You know, you go to the little icon, search icon on top of YouTube, and you type in the Geeky Dad podcast, and you're going to see my little icon there and a couple of videos. The kids have been doing some original content on the channel. And, you know, if you always wanted to see how the kids look and see how adorable they look in person, you can check them out on YouTube at the Geeky Dad podcast. And, you know, I had to also give them their own channel. You can check out the Multiverse Kids on YouTube. They have their own channel as well. We had some great content. We had a great Christmas episode online on the channel. You know, I can't even describe it. It's so funny. You know, we're up to 2 episodes of the Christmas episode, and you know, we plan on releasing a couple more episodes, and we also did a Sonic the Hedgehog Part 2 trailer reaction, and I'm gonna reveal a preview of one of the original episodes that we did on YouTube right now. It's a Hawkeye finale review. Okay, the kids did it. You can watch it on YouTube, but here's a little sample of that episode right now.
Bishop, and I want to be just like Hawkeye. No one can be Hawkeye because I'm Hawkeye. Well, then maybe I could just get a different name? Like what? Hawkeye. No. One Shot. No. Target? No. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's a store. Okay. Hawk Girl. No. Girl Hawk. No. Hawk Woman. No. Woman Girl. No. Wait, what? Oh, look, a doggy. I think I'm gonna adopt it. What do you want your name to be? Pizza. Mm-hmm. Pizza Dog. Mm-hmm. And since you're super lucky, I'm gonna call you Lucky the Pizza Dog. I don't have a Kate Bishop, so this is my substitute. Until maybe if I get one. Maybe.
So what did you guys think of the last episode of Hawkeye?
It's super good. And it was Kingpin. Yeah, and she beat him all up. No. Kingpin will never get beat up. I think he'll never die. He's a zombie. I mean, he didn't die, but she beat him up bad. If she beats him up bad, she kills him. Yeah. No? Yeah. I can beat you up bad and you don't get killed. Yes, you will. You mean you won't? Yes, you will kill me. No.
So what do you think about all the trick arrows that was on the last episode?
Yeah, she actually labeled them. Unlike Hawkeye, don't label them in your life, so everyone can die. Okay, so let me guess some of them. Putty one is going to be called Slime Arrow. I know one. Electric. Rocket Arrow. Magnet Arrow. Magnetism Arrow. Spiked Arrow.
And how many like tracksuit mafia guys were there?
100. I think 1,000. I think approximately everyone from Russia. Yeah. That would be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, they kept coming out like endless amount.
That has to be more than 8 million people. What the? I know. There's like 8 million people in every state. Tell me about it.
So what did you think is gonna happen for the future for Kate?
I think she's gonna join Hawkeye's family. Because we saw that Yeah, we did. No, we didn't. And she actually named him Lucky again. But they did something wrong with this. He has 2 eyes. This before I got shot from a zombie. No, come, let me show them. No, let me show them. No. See? Stop it. See? Has 2 eyes, but it's supposed to have an X instead. Maybe it was just an error. No. This is before we got hurt. This before. But
Okay, so what are you gonna rate the last episode of Hawkeye?
20.
Wait, what?
20.
Toes?
I don't have 20 toes. I have 10 toes.
So toes and fingers.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25.
Wait, you have what? I don't think you're counting right.
1,000. My fingers and my arms, both of them. Then my legs, and then my body, and then my head. I pick 1,000.
So you really like Hawkeye?
No.
No, you don't like it?
No, 26. I
So,
don't like
but-
Hawkeye.
So you like the show?
Like it? I love it! What? Hawkeye is the best superhero. She was doing everything. No? I mean, not this one, but the real one.
So
Hawkeye's doing everything.
you want to see a season 2?
Yes. Do I? It's gonna be Thanksgiving.
Oh, you want
No.
the next season to be in Thanksgiving?
Yes. Then Valentine's Day. No, Thanksgiving, so we can shoot turkeys.
And that was just a little peek of what we were doing outside of the podcast. We did a lot of original videos online, so I hope you check it out. And that's not all. I, the Geeky Dad, also showed up on another podcast. I was on the great podcast called Entertainment Rants with Marco Mazzola, and you should really check out that podcast. I not because I did a guest spot in it, but it's a fun podcast. So check out Entertainment Rants. I guest starred in an episode called Sweep the Leg. It's a big Karate Kid Cobra Kai episode, and guess what? Marco is going to show up on our show in season 2. He is a martial artist, and he's going to give us his insights on, martial arts and how it applies to the show Cobra Kai. It's going to be a very good episode. So check out Entertainment Rants. I showed up, and check out some of his other episodes as well. And speaking of other podcasts, I started a new one myself. It's a sort of a spin-off of this show. It's gonna be called the Geeky Dad After Dark. It's basically what happens to the geeky dad when the kids go to sleep. So we're gonna have some special guests. We're gonna cover some topics that we can't really talk with the kids with. Some R-rated movies and some hijinks. The language gets a little bit spicy, so I'm not gonna include it in the same stream as this Geeky Dad show, but you can check it out on Apple and all the places that you can get podcasts at look for the Geeky Dad After Dark. And one of our guests for that show is a gentleman called Jack Culbertson, and he has a great podcast called Derazzled, where they take Razzie movies, which, for those who don't know, Razzie movies are probably some of the worst movies ever made. And basically on his show, he takes these movies and he tries to fix them. It's a really interesting premise for a podcast. And I had Jack show up on my new show. This is going to be a little peek into that episode. We tried a new method of recording. It didn't quite pan out, so you can see like a little bit here and there. It kind of goes in and out. But I'm still working on fixing that episode. But this is a little sample of that new show, Geeky Dad After Dark. We have a very special guest today. He's the host of the great podcast called Derazzled. His name is Jack Culbertson. I hope I got that right.
Culbertson, yeah. You can say it however you want.
Now, Jack, I consider you, and this is an honor, I think. You know, you're a connoisseur of bad film.
Oh no! Well, thank you. I think.
I mean, that's basically the premise of your show.
It is. I didn't really start intentionally watching bad movies until we started this show. So I have a lot of catching up to do. I knew you wanted to talk about some bad movies here, so I've been trying to watch a couple before we recorded.
Right. I mean, what are some of the worst movies of last year?
Of this past year, I really disliked Matrix Resurrection.
Oh yes, yes.
I know we talked a little bit about that. I forgot that Wonder Woman 1984 came out in the past year, but that was
I think that came out on the last day of the year before. So I don't know if that counts.
Okay, they snuck it in. Okay.
Yeah. But that would have been on my list too. And I mean, talk about a wasted opportunity there. He had all the right recipes, and they just, that's a running theme with most of these bad movies on this list, because most of them could have been good, but they just, something happened and the recipe was rotten somehow.
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
I watched Old last night, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Oh yeah, I heard mixed reviews on that one.
I went in expecting to hate it, and maybe the first 20 minutes, I'm like, "Yep, it's another Shyamalan movie. I can't stand it." And I'm kind of upset with myself because I ended up liking it by the end.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that I was like, I'll definitely put this on the list, but no. That I would say Space Jam Legacy was pretty bad. Maybe not the worst film of the year, but definitely didn't meet expectations.
Yeah. I mean, there was a couple of good jokes here and there, but
yeah.
I mean, my kids liked it. That's about it.
I was just about to say I'm not exactly the target audience for that. So
yeah.
Although it was pretty weird to see the Droogs from Clockwork Orange in the background. I'm like, if this is
that was. I mean, that was that was so weird. I mean, they are probably some of the most R-rated, in some case X-rated type of characters, and they put them in, a children's movie. It's so insane. I can't believe it.
I was messaging Joe, the co-host from Derazzled. I'm like, the Droogs are there, and
Game of Thrones.
Thrones is there.
Yeah, they basically took everything from their IP catalog and pushed it inside that movie.
I'm not gonna lie, those older Hanna-Barbera characters,
right,
in quote unquote live action, but it was not a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw some Thundercats up in there.
Oh, really? I missed those.
Yeah. And I only know that because I saw a YouTube video that spotted out every single cameo inside the movie. And then when I went to see the movie, I tried to see it, but they're like blink and miss.
Right. There's so many cameos tucked in there. I got a little thrill out of seeing specifically the fire breather devil from Batman Returns.
Oh yeah, he was there.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I'm sure 4 people will enjoy this cameo. How about you? Did you see any rough ones this past year?
Yeah, Matrix was really up there. I was really disappointed because I was kind of excited for all the trailers and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and it just felt like I don't know what happened to the Wachowskis when I don't want to say this in a bad way, but it seemed to me since the second movie they haven't done a good movie. you know
I I haven't watched every movie of theirs after the Matrix trilogy.
Right.
I watched, was it Cloud Atlas?
Yeah.
And I was thrilled with it. It wasn't awful, but I wasn't thrilled by it. I do want to see Speed Racer because I hear people defend that movie all the time.
I mean, Speed Racer, it looks good, but um, it's it's I don't know, it's weird. It's a little too long, and that's a little
Sure, yeah.
problem with them because they tend to do their movies a little too long, and they don't know like how to maybe edit properly or something. I don't know. There's something off. Yeah,
The
but if you look at the cinematography
Mhm.
on Speed Racer and you look at the way this new movie looks, I mean, it looks like it was done on like a guy who worked on television or something.
Yeah,
You know?
it was very, like, almost, I would say, basic.
Right,
Uh,
right.
and
And
it
you notice it even more because they show scenes from the original Matrix in the movie, and then you notice like, wait, we're looking at a much better movie in the clips right now.
my girlfriend had actually not seen the first Matrix, so I sat down and
Right.
watched it with her the night before, and I'm like, one, this aged way better than I thought it would,
Mm-hmm.
and such a well thought out, well shot movie that takes chances with
Right.
the art. And this most recent one, I'm like, it doesn't feel like you thought it out at all.
Right. I mean, uh, they had a couple of good ideas, but
Yeah,
they just didn't pan out. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, uh, and they didn't explain a lot of things to me too. I mean, were they like, how were they resurrected and how are they still young? I mean, are they clones? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like they what I watched felt like a first draft, maybe a
Right.
second draft.
Right. Right.
Um,
Yeah.
which, like, for a first, good for a first draft. Let's keep workshopping it and smooth these ideas. But I don't know if they were rushed. I did read that, I forget if it's Lana. I think Lana is the one who directed it.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
her sister was not really involved. She said basically if she didn't do it, that it's Warner Brothers, right? Warner Brothers was going to
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
to do it regardless.
Right. Right. But one thing I thought was a little weird was, um, you know, uh, regardless of how you feel about the second and the third movie, they
Mhm.
still had some great, exciting action scenes, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I can't remember any exciting action scene in this movie at all.
Oh, the the martial arts was either, it felt really basic, or they used a lot of slow mo to make it not interesting.
Oh, I think the stunt choreographer did not return, so that was
Okay.
probably a major difference. You know, yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That was a huge disappointment. I don't know if you saw another movie. It was that Hugh Jackman movie, Reminiscence. Did you
No,
see
that one's
that?
for fun. No.
That was a, oof, that was a
What was that one
oinker
about?
right there. I mean, it's trying to be like a neo-noir,
Mhm.
futuristic type of movie. It's like in the future, I think global warming caused the entire world to be flooded. So like cities are halfway flooded, and everybody's depressed. So they go on this machine to remember the past. So that's what called reminiscence. You know, but I mean, that's basically the only interesting thing in the whole movie. And uh, I mean, you Jackman. I mean, he was not really engaging in this movie at all. It was just like he's
No,
trying to solve this case of this missing woman, and it doesn't really go anywhere. And it has probably one of the worst endings in the history I've ever seen in movies.
that's that's saying a
You
lot.
want me to you want me to tell you?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Basically, the whole movie, he's trying to go after this woman that he fell in love with, and this woman basically like conned him to get the
Mhm.
technology that he has, the reminiscent technology. And he searches everywhere. He gets beat up left and right from anybody,
Mhm.
and he finds out at the end that she's dead. So uh, he kills the bad guy. I think, I don't know. It's kind of confusing if he kills the bad guy or not.
Sure.
And in the end, he's so depressed he decides he's just gonna live his whole life inside a machine to remember the past. And then it cuts to like maybe like 20 years later. He's like still an
Mhm.
old man. He's been living in this machine for like probably all this time. And he had a woman throughout the whole movie that he was ignoring, and she was in love with him the whole time. And he could have definitely ended up going out with her and having a nice life with her instead of spending his time chasing this crazy woman who was using him. You
Gotcha.
know, right, yeah. And I mean, it looked really good. You know, it
Mhm.
had nice cinematography and everything. I think it was written by the guys or the screenwriters that did Westworld.
Okay.
I'm not sure, and I think they were directed by the same creators as well. Uh, but that the look, it looked really nice, but I thought they spent so much money for a really lame duck script. You know, it wasn't a really well thought out type of story. I mean, it
Mhm.
could have worked as a maybe it could work as like a maybe an Outer Limits or a
Mhm.
Twilight Zone episode, but not stretched out for over 2 hours. You know, right, right, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you saw the other. There was another. I mean, all these movies are Warner Brother movies. That's so weird.
Huh.
Have you noticed this? Because Reminiscence was also a
I
HBO
love it.
Max movie, and
Mm.
you know, Space Jam was an HBO Max movie, Matrix also, and this other movie I'm going to mention right now, The Little Things. Did you see that with Denzel? Yeah,
No,
talk about a waste of like great actors. You got Rami Malek, Denzel, even Jared Leto. He was good in that, but the script, it was just like such a really bad script. I cannot believe they decided to do a movie like that. It didn't go. It didn't go anywhere.
was it just like top to bottom bad?
You know it. It feels bad when you see a movie with great acting, great actors, but it just doesn't hold up in terms of plot. Because basically, the whole movie is they're going after this killer, right? And they think it's Jared Leto, and in the end, it's not Jared Leto, and they end up killing him, thinking he is, the killer.
Right.
And the real killer's never caught, and they hide the murder, and that's it. Right. I mean, I think in a better director's hands, they could have did something interesting with that, because the little twist could have worked if they actually caught the bad guy. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if you saw the movie Prisoners.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, but I thought that movie pulled that twist off a little better.
I really love the movie Prisoners. That was my
I love that movie.
But yeah, Prisoners was very good.
Yeah, that's I think that's part of the reason why he hasn't been that successful outside of like X-Men movies, because I don't think he picks the right scripts for himself. A lot of
I'm trying to think of movies the X-Men films. He's not written musicals, right?
He did Les Miserables and Great Showman.
Yeah. I feel like that's less his agent, and I think he just likes doing musicals.
Yeah, well, those I think were his personal projects, because I don't think anytime he wants to do like a blockbuster movie, they always really they're turd balls. Yeah, I remember Van Helsing.
Yeah, that was a bummer. That was a letdown.
Be on your show, actually, Van Helsing.
I would be surprised if it wasn't nominated for a Razzie at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
So
there's a million ways to make that movie better too.
Absolutely, I think that Van Helsing was a great concept that they didn't put any thought into, and that they tried to do too much in one film.
Exactly, it's like two or three movies mixed into one.
Mm-hmm. But there's always a chance it was. So for those who don't know, I host a podcast called Derazzled with my co-host Joe, and we take movies that typically have won a Razzie or have been nominated for Razzie, and we fix them.
Yeah.
And we were talking about doing Spider-Man 3, and we're like, of course Spider-Man 3 was nominated. Like, there's no way it wasn't nominated.
Right.
But it wasn't.
And strangely, it's the most profitable Spider-Man movie, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe of the Sony ones, yeah.
Yeah.
It just happened.
I think it did better than the first couple of Tom Holland movies too.
I believe that. I think this newest one has just blown all the other movies out of the water. As far as goes.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, and it's still going.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
Me too. Yeah, I didn't know if mixing all of those characters together was going to work, because that's a lot of characters to handle, but they did a really good job.
I mean, some of the logic doesn't make sense, but I mean, it's a comic book,
Right? Yeah. Just like, don't worry about that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where the nostalgia overpowered you and won over.
Right.
And that's just a small sample of the show. It's probably the most G-rated section of the whole conversation. We get a little bit out of control. We even do a little drinking game. It's a little bit crazy, So that's just a little sample. Okay, so check us out at the Geeky Dad After Dark, and check out Derazzled and Entertainment Rants. It's a wonderful time to be in podcasting. Check out all these great shows. We'll be back next week with our season premiere of season 2. It's gonna be great. Bye.